MedBix Webcast is a new kind of healthcare media channel to break the silo mentality and foster interdisciplinary thinking. Our mission is to fill that gap and to create a curiosity through different lenses, tapping the passion that guided the historical figures in medicine and bringing present-day groundbreaking research to the front lines. We interview physicians and leaders in the industry about present-day healthcare challenges on our live programming. Hey, welcome to the MedBix Webcast. This is Raman Anamraju. I'm the host. Yeah, I'm definitely not Albert Einstein, but maybe some of my guests are. But let me introduce you. What is going on the mental health side. We have a serious mental health issues in the world. Is a bigger than an economic crisis. Mental health crisis is. We need we don't have enough resources to deal with these mental health problems. The kid that went to to shoot president, can you believe this? He must have gone through some mental health issues, but whatever the reasons are, this is a bigger problem we are having on our hands. So what are the options we have? I was in Silicon Valley. I was going through a lot of, are there any technology instead of, we don't have enough resources like a psychologist, psychiatrist, mental health counselors. We don't have enough to address this massive mental health crisis. It is a worse it is very bad in the United States, but it's worse in the other countries. So we need some solutions for this. So I was thinking about it, and during the time I met Catedra Phillips. She's from Atlanta. I'm an accidental tourist in her car, and she was giving me a ride. And then I suggested her about the virtual reality and neurofeedback and new methodologies and modalities to treat mental health crisis, the relaxation techniques at least. We don't treat it, but at least she can do the relaxation part. So that she took it serious. I'm very glad, and I became a board member in her organization, AREACH. She really has an organization. She's been working with disadvantaged youth in in Atlanta area, particularly is a mental health crisis. Is a unspoken, is a stigma attached in neighborhoods, particularly underprivileged, underserved neighborhoods. In particularly urban areas in Atlanta, particularly in Atlanta. So there are a lot of guns. There's a violence. There's substance abuse. All these are outcomes of the mental health issues. So we need to address that. So she took it. Actually, Catedra was working with them for a long time. So she took it and then went on to the next level. And then she did implement this New York cafe. Let me play one video of her company, what she does right now. Let me play that, and then I will bring her after that. You can talk. So let me bring Catedra to the background. Let me introduce you, Catedra Phillips. She is from Atlanta. She was a daughter of a mute parents. Both of them are deaf parents. Impaired, hearing impaired. So she grew up with the both parents impaired, and she learned the sign language. And she understood the city of Atlanta, disadvantaged youth challenges, and she started a AREACH, an organization, a non-profit organization, and she got the sponsorship from Walmart and several other companies. She needs still support. But let me bring her to the table, Catedra Phillips. Welcome, Catedra. Catedra Phillips, welcome to the Medbix webcast. You're a long-time friend. Welcome. Tell us a little bit your journey. How do you grow up with your parents, hearing impaired? How did you make that survive? Sign languages, learning sign language. So tell us a little bit of your childhood days, and then what up to you came up to the opening a AREACH organization.
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, thank you, Ramona. You are a longtime friend. Thank you for the continued support and allowing me to just be on your platform to continue to share what I'm doing and what we're doing as a collective with your involvement as well. So yes, I am a coda, child of deaf adults, and I grew up with both parents being hearing impaired. I always tell people I am the youngest of three, so my sisters really helped set the path for the unique situation that I was born into by having a different way of communicating with my parents. So, growing up in Atlanta, going to school in the east part of Atlanta, youngest child of two, youngest child of three. So, I have two older sisters. And growing up, my sisters taught me sign language. There was some challenges in regards to ways that we communicate and how we had to help our parents out by, speaking on their behalf and handling some form of, adult business and understanding things that are outside the norm for what youth get involved with, what kids get involved with their parents. But outside of that, it was a very loving household. My parents were very affectionate, showed a lot of support around, encouraging us to follow our dreams and understand different things, opportunities that were made available for us. But we did grow up in a predominantly Black community where those, resources are not heavily available in certain areas. So those were still some challenges that were faced, and it was a little bit more challenging being that my parents are deaf. So they operate or live in a world that's a little bit different than the hearing. So resources, as I mentioned, were not just as plentiful, but the it was a unique situation, as I mentioned, but very, like I said, very loving, very supportive, very affectionate family. So it was interesting, and it still is because they're still here with me, and we are still continuing the journey.
That is a unique communication skills that you learn. It's very well put it together. Unique communication, that is a unique itself. That is a alternative to understand people, different way to communicate. One of them is, so what you started a reach, what you did so far before New Neuro Cafe opened up. What did you do with the AREACH organization? What was your main goals, and what you were trying to do at that with the AREACH?
Got it. I was with A Reach organization. It was all about identifying those individuals that had other unique challenges that could have been placing them more at risk and helping them understand their advantages with the different things that are beyond their control, such as environmental challenges, poverty, or different behavior or traumatic experiences that individuals face. So it was all about just knowing how to with my upbringing, knowing how to operate with disadvantages and being able to expose young individuals who have those same challenges to other opportunities that can advance them and not allow it to create a barrier. So that was the main goal.
There is a misconception among the outsiders, among non-blacks or even the black community, that they think if blacks are stronger, they don't have mental health issues. It is like is a myth, or is a misconception, right? Can you explain that a little bit, because you're in that environment, you see them every day. So let us bust that myth in that sense.
Yes, it is absolutely a myth, and the stigma is still relatively high around mental health in the Black and disadvantaged communities. So it's not talked about as much. When we work with other demographics of kids, it's much easier for them to identify different things around mental health as it is for those who are that we work with that are in the Black and brown communities. It's almost like saying something unheard of, or almost saying like a bad word when we talk about mental health. And I believe it's because we have grown to understand over time that it's something that you don't physically see. I think that's the bigger challenge with mental health in our communities. If it's something that we don't physically see because it's not something that we talked about and kind of nurtured around. For a longer time as other counterparts, it's more challenging to get them to understand the value surrounding mental health support. Um, so that's why A-Reach has advanced with your support to a more educational form, entertaining form of mental health support that can capture them and begin their entry level journey towards mental health support. And then they can go into more in depth support with mental health with psychologists and psychiatrists and so on and so forth.
You accidentally bumped into me, so we are an accidental tourist in your place. So I just given you some a path for you. Then after that, you took that path seriously and went on implementation. Really, thanks to that. Tell us that experience. How do you start that startup and struggles of my idea that taking to the next level? This is a challenge,
Yes.
right? So tell us,
Right.
what did
I
you
know. I remember the conversation like it was yesterday when we talked about. I knew I wanted to do something prior to me meeting you.
in the middle of the pandemic, right? Is a right
Yes,
middle
it
of the
was
pandemic, yeah.
right. It was about 2020, end of 2019. And I knew we had did prior work with youth, and it was a little bit challenging to get them to gravitate to fully reach those potentials that are presented to them. So I talked to you about mental health. I said I want to do something with mental health, and we talked about mentioned developing an app so that they can access mental health support. And you were like, "No, I don't think that's the best thing." And I was like, "Okay." And so then we moved into, you mentioned something about the virtual reality. And I was like, okay, well, I needed to understand because that was before everybody understood what virtual reality was very new still at that time when we were discussing it. And you said brain hacking. And I said, oh no, I don't know about brain hacking. I don't know about brain hacking. And so, and then you showed me the neurofeedback aspect of it in the brain control games. And we started ordering different things and playing around with those devices. And after about maybe a year and a half, 2 years of just studying the information with the devices and learning some of the neuroscience behind it, we actually launched a program and did a pilot, and the kids were like, we like it. And so the rest was history. And we are today now servicing a multitude of youth development organizations and working with schools and different things of that nature, delivering effective science-based programs. So I'm so grateful for that conversation and how we met and you sharing the information that has gotten us where we are today. I can't hear you. I can't hear.
My name is Ramakazi. I'm an artist from out of Atlanta.
Now I live and feel so.
What's the coolest thing about being mixed with Indian and African American?
The best part about it is that both cultures are very dominant and rich.
I see you got on your hoodie, went to Vanderbilt. So what did you study?
I studied neuroscience. I did a little bit of philosophy too. I was planning on minoring in it, but yeah, just decided to focus on neuro.
What skills have you learned in your study that you believe that will help you in your music career?
I would say psychology and research, and psychological research.
How did you connect with A-Reach?
So actually through my dad. My dad was speaking to her about neurofeedback and things like that. And I guess that sparked the idea for her to include me in on the project.
So these two devices in front of you, are you familiar with them? Do you think that they will improve relaxation and focus?
Yeah, absolutely. I was doing independent research on brain waves and touch tone frequencies and external stimulation using virtual reality and augmented
Oh,
reality.
that is, let
Um,
me tell you.
my name is Ramakazi. My name is Ramakazi. I'm an artist from out of Atlanta.
Listen on me. Now I live and feel so
What's the coolest thing about being mixed with Indian and African American?
The best part about it is that both cultures are very dominant and rich.
I see you got on your hoodie, you went to Vanderbilt. What did you study?
I studied neuroscience. I did a little bit of philosophy too. I was planning on minoring in it, but yeah, just decided to focus on neuro.
What skills have you learned in your study that you believe that will help you in your music career?
I would say psychology and research and psychological research.
How did you connect with A-Reach?
So actually through my dad. My dad was speaking to her about neural feedback and things like that. And I guess that sparked the idea for her to include me in on the project.
So these two devices in front of you, are you familiar with them? Do you think that they will improve relaxation and focus?
Yeah, absolutely. I was doing independent research on brain waves and touch tone frequencies and external stimulation using virtual reality and augmented reality can definitely create shifts in your wavelength.
Okay, so we know that music has the power to culturally, morally, and emotionally influence our society. So what is your music impact goals for society?
My goal is to unite cultures and introducing people to different cultures through the music. I think that creating songs that everyone can dance to, where if I look out in the crowd and I see Indian people, black people, white people, Latino people, like all enjoy my music together, to me that's a success.
Yeah, so what's next for you in your music career?
I want to incorporate a lot more neuroscience and psychology into the music industry. I was doing research on the effects of those, like how you can manipulate sound to change people's reactions, change their moods, and I did research in undergrad around that as well, where it was testing the touch tone frequencies of rhesus monkeys as far as like how they react to stimuli once they hear something. And so I really do feel like music actually has the neuroscientific power to help mental health.
And the last question is, what is the best advice that you've been given that you would like to share with someone else?
Keep going.
masterminded with A-Reach. Masterminded with A-Reach. The path to line and that's half the climb, and we masterminded with A-Reach. Masterminded with A-Reach. Masterminded with A-Reach.
So,
My name is
let me bring yeah. So, Catedra, so tell us a little bit about that boy's involvement. My son happened to be my son. Your daughter is interviewing him. So, the
Yes.
next generation of kids that really loved it. This kind of a neuroscience background, you incorporated neuroscience along with it, and you're open to. I'm very surprised about that. People. In general, they're kind of nervous about neuroscience and all those things. You're much more open to that, and allowed him to do a little bit of new things with your company. So tell us a little bit of your journey into the neuroscience and with him and with your daughter and all those guys.
Yeah. So it has been exciting, especially having the young people involved because that's our target market. So their feedback is very invaluable to us. And so you invited your son Ramesh to be involved and with his background in neuroscience and what we were working towards. He jumped right in willingly to get involved and just give us research and background around what we're doing and ways to implement different ways to implement. And then also with my daughter's in her psychology studies, they were a perfect pair. Bringing the two together. So that particular video interview was a great time. He came in and tested out the videos, and my daughter Kiera was asking some questions and requesting some feedback from them. So it was really a really fun experience. And Ramesh is still going with us, going pretty strong with us, going out and being a neuroscience instructor and educating our young people about the basic functions of the brain and further advancing them in building their mental skills. So it's been a full circle, but very exciting and grateful journey. And then also inviting in the other psychiatrists and neurologists to also test the products along with different psychologists and conscious working, Miss Ursula with the conscious work. So it's been a lot of people that has given some feedback and involvement to just make sure that we are doing the most impact that we can with the technology tools and techniques that we're using. So it's been very exciting.
Ursula, with your sorry, Catedra, your experience, you went through meditation program, yoga programs, and all these things. Now, what is your experience? How the kids received your new technology? The kids are prone to technology anyway; they love technology. So, how did they receive this these two modalities, neurofeedback and virtual reality? In what way they received a very give us a little bit background how they responded to your programs.
Got it. Yeah. So it's been, as I said, it's been a very exciting and fun experience. That we get great feedback from the young individuals that go through our program experience, and we hear things like change in their mood, and very amazed and just in awe to see how they can control things through their brain, and just being able to enhance their focus and regulate. So it's been received quite well from young individuals. And what we are most excited about, because we train our team to go out and really work towards being able to create safe space and invite these young individuals in to build a trusting rapport so that they're able to utilize these technologies to their best abilities. And I mentioned it's what is so most interesting about it is we've been able to reach those that are harder to reach. So those individuals, those youth members that are more challenged, have more risky behavior, and just low motivation, or different things that schools and organizations find to be challenging, they come into our program and they're looking for us. They're looking to continue. They're looking to commit to the process of advancing their mental skills through these different forms of techniques and technologies that we incorporate. So it's been exciting.
So I'm in Silicon Valley. Is it there easy to accept the technology here? But you are in the center of a very center of a town, and then your audience are you have the disadvantaged youth. How did the parents receive this technology based neuroscience kind of related technology? How did they are they skeptical in the beginning, or you have to convince them? What was their input?
Well, honestly, when we are delivering our programs, we get more excitement, more in awe, more amazement, more than individuals that are kind of reluctant or restricted to trying it. Now, I will say that we have, when we work with the adults, our older individuals, we have seen them to be definitely more resistant and not open to it in the beginning. But once they go through the program, or they go through the experience, it's hard to get them to come out of the experience. They're like, they want to stay longer. But with the parents are definitely wide open to supporting different things that can advance their youth. So they have been, committed to the process, signing their kids up and really motivating the kids to continue, although the kids are excited as well. So it hasn't been a challenge. We're training ourselves to, like I said, create safe space and, help people understand what it is that's taking place, and not in too much of a scientific term, but more in a relatable real life psychology term. And it's been great, Ramana. It's been a really good experience.
I'm so proud of you that in that sense that you brought that to the technology and then neuroscience background to the particularly disadvantaged youth that never see that kind of experience they have. They must be, great debt in debt to you, or the community must be owed to you. So Walmart really took that one and they supported you. Just tell us a little bit about your supporters and how the supporters are coming slowly, one by one, joining with you.
Yes, it has. Walmart has been a very, very strong support throughout the journey of this entire research as well as delivery of the to the point that we can deliver the programs. But recently, this past summer, the Walmart Foundation has partnered with us to support 10 communities throughout the Metro Atlanta area so that we were able to deliver our hack and train programs, and so that has been very instrumental in allowing us to, one, open the doors for the young people to experience this life changing program, but two, also open the other opportunities for community members to get involved and invest with something that they are more aware of, and how the dollars will be used. So it's Walmart has been great in our support. We have also gained support from private donors as well as like other corporations such as Target, Georgia Power. So we've been working, and the community has been our biggest piece to keep us active.
Yeah, Catedra, one of the things I wanted to ask you is that, how challenging for you, are you getting enough support, and you're getting enough support, but what is the next steps you need to really take this program to the next level?
Yes. So we always need support. The impact is, this is a crisis that we are approaching and attempting to aid in reducing the numbers that are growing drastically. So support is always greatly needed. What our goal is to really get more stationary inside of those communities that need us most, by being able to offer these services on a daily basis. So we don't have to wait until, weekly sessions for a limited amount of individuals, but just being able to be in communities available and ready to serve all of the individuals that are seeking or needing this form of support.
Let us talk about a little bit about the program that you do. What do you do? First, a person comes in the neuro feedback, the neuro cafe. What is the steps they go through? What is the first thing you put a VR, or you do neuro feedback? Or tell us each one and what they do with the new virtual reality. First, you can start with virtual VR.
Got it. So the first thing that happens when they come inside is we connect with them to understand a little bit about them and some of their interests and what brought them to what were some of the things that they would look to get out of experience that we're offering, and then we support them through some breathwork techniques to help them relax, get them more comfortable, and just get more, like I said, comfortable in the environment, because we do provide an environment that has a number of stimulation going on, a lot of sensory details going on. So we want them to be able to be relaxed and welcoming into these technology devices and different things that we'll go through. So first is connecting with the individual. And then secondly, we take them through the Relax and Rewire, which is the virtual reality experience, where we use a software that has a number of different layers of abstract pieces and environments with colors and different things and a calming voice, and work to relax that individual. Once we relax them, we take them through a piece of writing therapy. So we help bring some positive psychology to the surface, asking them things to reflect on that are positive within their life. And then we go into the neurofeedback, and we like to keep the neurofeedback last because it is a little bit challenging for individuals. Well, not just a little bit, it can be extremely challenging. So we like to get them relaxed and thinking positive before we take them through that exercise. And then we go into the neurofeedback portion, which we have a number of different exercises that those individuals can go through, whether we're working on building their instant focus, their high concentration level, their relaxation ability, and different things of that nature. And then we help set goals once we identify where those individuals are, so that we can personalize their learning experience as they continue the journey.
There is no question in my mind. There is a, the violence and the drug abuse, or all those things are connected to the mental health. I used to teach in a small, when I, high school college intern, when I was in New York City, in Bronx. I taught in a Bronx school, mostly disadvantaged youth, that they used to register for the classes for the television repair, or computers learning. During the time we were teaching, once they are motivated, is an extremely, they people who are into the thug life, they moved completely into the different world and actually productive, become a productive people. I can see that with that experience. If you give motivation, you cannot abandon the society. So part of the significant society, you cannot abandon. I think that is a great thing. What you're doing is that you're taking this level to the next level, to the mental health challenges. But these are the step number one and two. There's another step is required. You need to actually sometimes they may need mental health professionals to join, like a neurologist or a psychiatrist or psychologist. So you refer them usually when to that point to the level that you have a people around you that then they can guide you.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a database of psychiatrists and psychologists, and as I mentioned, we are the entry level to get them excited about this form of mental health in the concept, because the stigma is still, as we talked about, really high I mean, very high in certain communities. So we do have a database that we refer individuals out to, and then we do it as either a shared experience depending on what the circumstances are, or they graduate into the next level of mental health support with a psychologist. And then if a psychologist see fit, they will refer them to a psychiatrist, and so on and so forth. But the team is comprised of neurologists and physics and computer science like yourself, as well as neuroscience and psychiatrists and things of that nature, where we all come to the table and understand what is best fit and ways to take these individuals throughout the journey.
That how is the volunteer, how did you recruit? These are the same kids become volunteers for you and helping you to take this program. How do you find the volunteers and all those people that really join with you? How can they, or even people like Silicon Valley wants to join with you and help you, how they can do that? Financial, equipment donation, they can do all those things towards you, right? You can
Yes.
literally connect with these kids, and then you can talk, you can really connect with those people that show them that what the improvement and the contributions they're making, it makes a difference in the community.
Absolutely. What we see, it definitely makes a difference. Like I said, but in our sessions, they do a check in and check out, Ramana. So individuals may show up expressing themselves as frustrated, angry, sad, lonely, and different things of that nature. And by the time that the session is complete, within that hour of training and going through our techniques and tools, individuals have a 80 to 85% turnaround in the way they feel in a positive direction. So the need is, like you mentioned, is always great for us to continue to grow the impact. But yes, we welcome all support. We definitely love to have people to get involved and support us in building more impact in the communities by providing us equipment, technology devices, equipment. We continue to do research and understanding ways that we can continue to innovate our programs and advance our programs in different areas. Also, monetary donations. Something as little as $600 can change a life of one individual completely. It allows us to spend up to 8 hours and have 8 sessions with the individual, going through the training sessions, working with neuroscientists as well as mental health professionals, because all of our individuals that are on our team have background around mental health and neuroscience and things of that nature. So there are a number of ways that people can get involved. Our website is areach.org, areach.org, and there are some options there. If you are not local, we definitely still can have some connection and be able to use those resources by, like I mentioned, helping us do research, volunteering for us to meet more partners and things of that nature to advance our programs and be able to grow our impacts.
So what, if we wanted to expand this program into the different levels, so let me ask you about the corporate level. Are the corporations are very recipient to the idea of this mental health in their offices, helping their employees? How the corporations like the cities and the, state governments and city governments, or local counties, or the private corporations, are they reciprocal, or they are open to listening to your ideas?
Yes, we have had some conversations with some different corporations in regards to finding ways to incorporate workplace wellness. So, allowing us to come in and work with their staffing team and offer these different tools and techniques to advance their executive functioning, and just the motivation to help them reduce stress and be able to get more productivity within the company. But I will tell you that our largest focus is around youth development, so our conversations are mainly around figuring out ways that we can involve corporations to grow the impacts as we work in inner city communities and advancing our youth.
So, Catedra, I am so it is a long journey that you went through, and then you have a lot of patience, and you're really doing the real community work. You're the ground, you're in the at the ground level that you're doing from the communities. That's what they need support. Actually, guys, if you want to donate equipment, anything virtual reality, any kind, and then another one is a I suggested about the G scale, right? That is another one, educational, anything educational you want to donate, and money. I would highly encourage this. She is a truly real woman and helping the real communities. And I can testify that, and I saw it. And my son, who is a neuroscience researcher, he joined with her and helping her in Atlanta. It is really truly a revolution in the making. I think mental health is a massive mental health challenges could be addressed through these kind of programs, rather than if we don't have enough resources to address, we don't have enough psychologists, we don't have enough resources. I think this is the massive way of addressing the mental health challenges through this program. I think this is a time, and the governments and everybody, local and federal and state, and then corporations, individuals, has to realize how much the mental health is important in this game. It is a truly revolution. It makes a revolution. Well, it's Katadra. If you want to hold on to a couple of minutes, I'm going to introduce the my. I'm in a I'm in a Innovator MD conference now. He's in San Francisco. Innovator MD is a chairman. Is a Dr. Uli Chetapalli. He's a convener. We had a big virtual reality conference last week. Now today is the meetup that we do, and let me bring my friend Dr. Uli Chetapalli also say hello to the conference. He's a physician. He's Innovator MD. Is a physician conference, and another institute, the Founders Institute, is one of the common things. Let me let me bring, and while you talk a little bit, is to talk about AREACH a little bit and your web address. Then I will bring those people. Okay, Kadadra. So
Okay.
okay.
Perfect. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, learning about what we're doing to make positive improvements within the community surrounding mental health. We invite you guys to get involved as we are working tirelessly to change lives and directions, especially for those individuals who are faced with challenges beyond their own fault. The ways that you guys can get involved is you can visit our website. It is at areach.org. That is AREACH.org. And you can also reach me directly via my email or my cell phone directly at 678-396-9592, or my email is Catedra, CATEDRAP @areach.org. We look forward to hearing back from you all, getting you guys involved, allowing you guys to be a part of things that are advancing our not only local communities, but changing the world altogether. Thank you.
Dr. Chetipalli, that he is a CEO for the InnovatorMD.com. We had a conference last week. It's a huge successful conference we had. Really truly enjoyed it. And Catedra Phillips is from Atlanta. She's a disadvantaged youth. She started a innovative kind of innovation through virtual reality and neurofeedback mental health training.
Oh.
She is doing so much disadvantaged youth. She is very active, Dr. Uli Chettipalli is the founder of the InnovatorMD.com. We had a great so say this is a meetup. We are meeting some people here and then in-person meeting. So tell us a little bit about Innovator MD and then
Sure,
about the
sure.
Catedra mental health thing she's doing.
Yeah, well, it's great. Thank you for what you're doing because mental health, there's a lot of need. Um, so my background is I started off as an emergency physician, and most of my career was at Kaiser Permanente here in South San Francisco. But then I switched gears. I took early retirement about 5.5 years ago and started Innovator MD. The company Innovator MD, the mission is that when people on the front lines, they see problems firsthand, whether it's physicians, nurses, techs, or pharmacists, and then they come up with solutions for those problems. And those solutions are very different from the regular run of the mill solutions because they have very deep insight into the problem and they come up with how to solve those problems. And so we wanted to support those people. So we created this platform, Innovator MD, where we teach innovation. We have an accelerator in partnership with Founder Institute, and we take them through different stages as they build their company. We market or amplify their message on the platform. We bring in speakers. We bring in experienced people to mentor these startups. And then we also bring in investors and venture capitalists to come join, and we highlight these startups in our meetings. Uh, so that's what I do at Innovator MD, and we are the largest physician innovation group in the country. And
What about
then,
Founder Institute? Can you talk about a little bit of Founder Institute?
yeah,
Yeah.
so we partner with Founder Institute. Founder Institute is the largest accelerator company, so it has many accelerators, and we started and run the health tech accelerator. It's a global accelerator and it's virtual, and we run two cohorts each year. Each is a 16-week program, so people can join from anywhere in the world, and they can we will walk them through the whole process until they have a company that is potentially fundable. And then about 2 years ago, I started another startup. It's called Sirica Therapeutics. I have a daughter who has autism, and so autism has been at the top of my list, at the back of my mind, and I've been looking for solutions. And I think we found that.
Hmm.
And so I started Sirica Therapeutics, which so the program involves the technology involves virtual reality, video gaming, robotics, and exercise. So it's a combined program where you are challenging the person mentally and also physically in a deeply immersive state. And so that is the milieu you create where you're hijacking the brain into a deeply immersive state and then putting these challenges. That's what stimulates neuroplasticity. And when neuroplasticity is stimulated, you get benefits from decrease in symptoms. And that's our hypothesis. And we raised our pre-seed round, and now we are raising our seed round of $3 million to be able to. We did our first clinical study, which came out very well, and now we are going to get it to the next level where we are looking at efficacy and be able to introduce it into the market.
It would be a great, joint venture with her. Particularly, she's dealing with mental health challenges and the
Yeah.
disadvantaged youth, and she got the Walmart sponsor actually Walmart sponsoring
That's
a
great.
program.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, we definitely should connect.
yeah.
Absolutely. I was and you said the second venture you were just mentioning, it's called what therapeutics?
Sirica, Sirica. My daughter's name is Siri, so she is the inspiration for
Oh,
this
that's so
company.
beautiful. That's
Sirica,
so beautiful.
Sirica Therapeutics or SiricaTX.com. Um, and there's a video on the website, and it shows how it looks. That was our first prototype and MVP that we did a safety and feasibility study in 9 patients with autism, and they loved it.
That is so awesome. I definitely am interested in connecting and learning some things from you, and also understanding this program in ways that we can potentially incorporate different things like this in what we're doing,
Yeah,
because we want to, as
happy to
mentioned, stay
collaborate.
innovative and understand all the opportunities, because there's no one way to approach this situation. So more ways that we can, more resources that we can incorporate, the better the world will be, right? so
Thank,
I'm definitely interested in that and wanting to get some contacts so we can maybe jump on a call and have some further discussion.
Sure, I'm on LinkedIn. Yuli
Okay.
K.
I'll
Cheripalli, and of course, Ramana can connect
Send
you.
it over to me. Okay. Awesome. Well,
thank you, Dr. Uli. Is a really
Thank you.
truly,
Nice meeting you.
yeah.
likewise. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And I look forward to chatting with you soon.
If you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, come by, and this is our place.
Yeah, place, yeah.
I look forward to visiting there soon.
It is a huge conference. Was a beautiful, innovative community. They have a awesome, awesome speakers. But anyway, that boy, the Ramesh was there. Hello, Ramesh. Say hello to us. I don't know if he's coming or not, but Ramesh,
Hey everybody. Yeah, I'm kind of not in the best place to get on the camera right now, but I have been tuned into the conversation and I actually very much agree with the synergy behind the conversation that just happened.
oh, thank you. That's good. We all happy for Catedra. She's really, I'm glad I introduced you both of you together. Really, the journey is going to be exciting. And I'm fully behind Catedra to support this thing. And we want to make it a more big, expandable. Hey, hi, Ramesh. That's good. So he's my son, by the way, I want to tell you. And he's also as a big supporter of AREACH. He is a actively participant and he's a neuroscientist. I don't have a neuroscience background. I'm just an outsider, but he's going to make a difference. The age, I think that is, this is going to be a great model for all the cities. In fact, for the disadvantaged youth. And Ramesh, you want to say about the disadvantaged youth, how much they like it? You because you're a young guy. That how do you connect with these young people that motivate this kind of a new technologies?
Yeah, so representation matters. And it's one thing that, I had a brief stint as a substitute teacher where I got to see this. There's a lot of disadvantaged youth who they have the energy and the intent to learn, but we're in a time now where all the information in the world is available to anybody, but you don't know how to distinguish fact versus fiction. And so the skill that a lot of kids need to learn is research, but they also need to learn how to vet correct information, but they also need to hear it from the right person who they can connect with and relate to. And so part of our mission is to be the example that we want to see in these kids, to show them that, the examples that you might see now that you think you can relate to, there's so many different types of examples that you can connect to, like, me and Catedra. So part of what we wanted to do is to essentially introduce the kids to brain training techniques and to teach them how to, work with their neuroplasticity, but also do it but also demonstrate that through how we are. And so a lot of these kids, I mean, not only do they love it, and not only do they, look up to us, but the way I see it is if one kid is able to make a difference in their lives, and the program was successful. If one kid decides to pursue this path or even share this information with his friends, then the program is successful.
Absolutely. It is well said. I'm going to give the last word to Catedra. Catedra, tell us, so your motivation to help young kids, that is because you are the witnessing so many things you witnessed it. So you're around Atlanta downtown and all those urban challenging places. So tell us that your why, that passion is still. I want people need to support your passion because Silicon Valley and every place that they want. I want them to give you full support for you and is a testament is my son and Ramesh Anamraju is a neuroscientist. Joining with her is a greatest testament. So tell us your journey. What is the that next steps and what are the things that you passionately you wanted to help these kids in the last words?
Right. So, of course, we identify the disadvantages. We talk about, the lack of resources and access all the time, especially this with the stigmas that are associated with some of the resources that are available, but they're not open to receiving or getting involved with those different things. So, and that's one of my main driving forces. And then, just growing up with a unique situation and having some challenges and barriers that I faced that could have led me to, more of an at-risk life journey experience really made me want to ensure that these individuals who are facing different disadvantages understand their advantages as well. So that's the main goal, is just being able to expose these individuals to things that can help them advance themselves and see the full potential of their life, and things that they can do on a personal and professional level, and being able to connect with other individuals who are passionate about the same things, such as Ramesh, such as you, Ramana, and other individuals who have really gotten involved, and at a large capacity to just make the noise around our mission, has been very instrumental in just being able to get us to where we are today. This summer alone, we were able to work with 220 kids will be the amount of kids that we work with during this summer once we complete our last session on July 26th. So things like that, just understanding that we have been able to touch that many kids and just expose those individuals to a different way of thinking, a different way of perception and XYZ, to just open the doors for these different forms of self-care and mental health support has been, just the true foundation of why we get up every day and do what we do, in supporting A-Reach and the mission that we're on.
Thank you all. It's a truly privilege to know you, and it's an honor. And then I'm so privileged to have you. And then in my life and in your life, that is, we want to be participant of your mission. And I'm truly privileged about. Thank you so much, all. Thank you all joining with us today. Good night, all of you, and good night. And please support areach.org, Catedra Phillips. She's really wonderful. It is an organization. It's a wonderful full testament to that. Me and my son and everybody around us support her. Is a truly a great organization. Thank you all. Good night, all of you.
Thank you.
Telling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it